Adil Rashid and Gary Balance both scored exceptional hundreds as high-flying Yorkshire started their latest LV County Championship match with Somerset at Headingley Carnegie rather well. Andrew Gale won the toss and batted, but soon found his side in trouble. To the fourth ball of the match, Adam Lyth nicked Peter Trigo behind, where Joss Butler, keeping in place of the injured Craig Keyswetter, took a very good one-handed catch. With Joe Root skippering the Lions in Leicester this week, Joe Sayers was given his first start of the summer. Not that his innings lasted long. He'd made only a single when he was also held by Butler off Trigo. This was just the start Somerset were looking for. They began this match in the bottom two of the championship, not that such things matter in early May, and they would have been hopeful of a win over a Yorkshire side without both Root and Johnny Bairstow. Those two wickets represented an ideal start, but Gale and Phil Jakes were soon digging their confident side out of trouble. They should have been back in it, but Trigo could hardly believe it when this edge from Jakes was spilled in the slips. With that behind him, Jakes took on Jamie Overton. These 3-4s came off successive deliveries as Yorkshire started to pick up the rate after a faltering start to their innings. Only 17 runs had been scored in the first 10 overs before Sayers was out, but now this pair were able to add 54 runs in a dozen overs, helped, in part, by this over from Overton. But the morning still very much belonged to the visitors once that Gale was brilliantly caught by Butler off Alfonso Thomas for 17, and Jakes on 49 was well held low down by Marcus Trescothick. Steve Kirby enjoys taking wickets against anyone, but especially against his former county Yorkshire. That left Yorkshire on 75 for 4. Balance and Rashid ensured that there were no more mishaps before lunch, and then they dominated the afternoon session as they started to take the game away from Somerset. Yorkshire came into this match well placed in third spot in the table after two rather remarkable wins, chasing down a large total at Durham and then somehow winning by an innings even though Derbyshire had amassed 475 runs in their first innings. They then are a side which never knows when to stop fighting, and the two with the gloves on this occasion were Balance and Rashid, who batted steadily but very solidly throughout the afternoon to put their side in a good position once again. They also played many shots right out of the top draw. Balance was first to his 50, the third time he's achieved that this summer. The left-hander got there with his 7th 4 from the 104th delivery he'd faced. It was an important innings for his team too. Rashid wasn't too far behind. He produced many classy drives through the covers off all of the bowlers. He started his season extremely well with the bat, but this was him at his very best. His 50 arrived off 117 balls and included 8 4s, but he had no intention of giving it away then. The 5th wicket partnership had now moved into the evening session, and Somerset must have started to wonder where their next success was going to come from. Oodles of runs have been scored in that win over Derbyshire, which was also played on this ground. Yorkshire amassed 677 for 7 then, and on what looked like another belter of a batting surface, they would now have fancied piling on the runs for another mammoth total this time. Especially as Balance now got to his 100 into the final hour of the day. It had been a classy knock from a player who may have been disappointed not to be included in that Lions squad himself. His 12th 4 took him to his ton, which had used up 187 deliveries. His partnership with Rashid had realised 207 runs in 62 overs, a record for Yorkshire's 5th wicket against Somerset, when at last Somerset broke through with the second new ball, Kirby getting one to just shade back into the batsman to have him leg before for 107. Rashid remained, however, and he now wanted to see the final 40 minutes, 10 overs, of the day out. Not that he was in the mood for defending. If the ball was there to hit, he hit it, with just a very occasional ball failing to come off the middle of his bat. This edge took him to 99, and he reached his terrific ton for the 5th time in his career with an uppercut off Kirby, which again flew to the fence for his 17th 4. He struggled with the bat in Yorkshire's promotion last summer, when his top score in 8 innings was only 58. Now he was at 100 from 189 balls. And he stayed to the end of the day too, in the company of Andrew Hodd, another to be playing for the first time this summer in the place of Bairstow. A very handy man to have coming in with a total on 282 for 5. He helped add a further 50 runs before the close. And that meant that this was Yorkshire's day. From 75 for 4 in the first session, they ended on 332 for 5, with Rashid still there on 120. He's been dismissed only once this summer and goes into the second day of this match with a season's batting average of 231. Not bad.